Mike White did throw for 400 yards against the Bengals. Who was quarterbacking the Bengals that day?
Joe Burrow.
You guys know?
Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty. All right,
Joe
Kwasi.
Shiesty.
Joe Burrow.
Joe
Shiesty.
Shiesty. You have a Joe Burrow adjacent take, I would say. Lay it on us.
So for me, I think that when you look at the MVP candidates coming into this season, we obviously you have your Lamar Jacksons, you have your Josh Allen, maybe Patrick Mahomes could have a bounce back. I say, why not Joe Burrow? I think that if he is able to bring the Bengals like back to where he brought them during his first, maybe his first playing season rather, to the Super Bowl, why not? Why can't he win MVP this time around? Initially, we were talking pre-show. We were like, okay, like, all right, I was explaining to you guys. I was like, maybe a non-quarterback would win. And then we just instantly cut that out because you already know if Christian McCaffrey couldn't do it, if Saquon couldn't do it, I don't know how much more hope that we could have in these next few years. Like, I like that people are getting close to it, but I don't really see that happening. Now, back to Burrow anyway. I think that we can't, like, voter fatigue in the NFL is interesting. I don't think it exists as much as it does in other sports per se. Like,
are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Do I need to get my Lamar jersey? Are you sure about that?
I think for me, it's
that's a little debatable.
I think for me, it's just like, like I feel like at least like when I compare to other sports, like in the NBA, if someone wins like MVP like 2-3 times, then they always try to move on to someone else. Baseball, it's like, or honestly, baseball is like maybe less than football. But regardless, I feel like people like they don't want to see the same thing over and over again. Is my point that I'm making anyway. Lamar has his MVPs. I'm sorry. Allen just won his MVP. Mahomes has his MVPs. Rodgers has MVPs. Like, it's getting to the point where it's just like, who's the next person that we could like give an MVP award to? If I was a betting man, I'd probably say that I'm gonna I'd like throw it between Allen and Lamar this season. But if I'm like trying to be risky, I guess you could say, why not just give it to Burrow? Like, I think Burrow has like all the tools that he needs to be able to come back. And like in terms of value, Cincinnati needs him. Like, that's not a debate. Like, if he is not there, that team falls, as we kind of saw last season. Like, if he's not there, like there's problems. And with Jamar Chase having like the season that he had last year, with the talent that Joe Burrow has around him, at least offensively, defense is a totally different discussion. And like, I think that could be what kind of hurts this take a little bit, is like the defense. But regardless, if Joe Burrow is able to stay healthy for a full season and like somewhat take that, I don't want to say like not so great Bengals team, because they're still a decent team, but like defensively they're not as good as they really can be at all. If he's able to like just like constant, like especially with what he would have to do to win games, like I feel like Joe Burrow this season, in order for the Bengals to be able to win games, they have to score like 5, 6, 7 touchdowns a game almost. To just like it's gonna be a shootout every single game. And I feel like he's able to do that and win games. Those numbers at the end of the season are gonna be amazing. They're gonna be like, oh wow, like Joe Burrow just like his numbers are gonna be far in between. Like if he's able to do it, they're gonna be like far and away like the best numbers that we see from quarterbacks this season. So I don't think, like, why not Joe Burrow? Why can't he win MVP?
So I get it. He is third in MVP odds behind Lamar and Josh. He is the favorite to lead the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns, plus 400, plus 450, or plus 450, plus 550.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
He's finished fourth twice. He was fourth in 2022. He was fourth last season. My pushback here is I think the team will be fine. I do wonder how much credit Burrow gets if the team is, wins 11 games or is heavily competitive in the AFC North, because you have the Jamar Chase factor. You have T. Higgins. Chase Brown is a really good running back. I know he technically didn't get 1,000 yards last year, but if you combine his total scrimmage yards, he had a very strong season. His second year in the league, he was over 1,300 scrimmage yards. He was 10 yards shy of 1,000 rushing, 11 touchdowns. So I don't have a Bengals offense question. I do have a Bengals defense question, because the unit stunk last year. It'll probably be in the same realm of stink this year. Maybe not quite as bad, because it's hard to be that bad statistically year over year. And they get to play the Browns twice. That helps. But I find it difficult to single out one individual MVP, although I have gotten it right the last 2 years. I picked Allen last year. unfortunately. And I posted a video on this channel, Lamar to win it in 2023. That one bangs. So I have some pushback with Burrow. I don't know if narratively speaking, I think you could be on one here, on a correct course here. 11 wins, 12 win Bengal team. Yeah, I think he gets some consideration. But give me number 15 in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes.
That would be what, 3 for Mahomes?
That would be 3 for Mahomes.
He'd be approaching who I won't talk about after this again.
It's cutting out a bit, Splash.
Yes, I have to take down the. I'm gonna pause the timer here. Stop. Settings. I hate how this works. I wish I could just
you wind the clock on them.
Bang!
Oh God! Has there ever been an uglier Funko Pop?
I do need to ship this to my friend. Shout out to Kayla. All right, I will resume the clock.
Splash, I think if anything, you helped Kwasi's case there because the defense is going to be for the most part booty. I mean, even with Trey Henderson, depending what happens there, right? I mean, the defense is not going to be good, and they're going to have to rely on Burrow, as they did in the infamous Burrow head year. He's got 2 number 1 receivers. He's got T. Higgins. He's got Jamar Chase, and he's proven he can win. I mean, has he won the big one yet? No. Has he gone to the big one yet? No. But he's proven he can go into Arrowhead and win it. He's proven he's got ice in his veins. I mean, depending if you ask Raven fans or not, he might, one day be the new Cool Joe in the league, depending on how far he gets them. And the Bengals have to win on offense.
Cool Joe. We had Namath.
We got Namath,
Montana, and Flacco.
Well, I'm talking about the color TV era of Cool Joes, because my Cool Joe is, that there was still black and white.
Fair enough. Shout out to the moon landing.
Shout out to the moon landing and the Jets won lone Super Bowl. Yes. But it's one more than Kwasi's team, though. I'll say that.
Hey,
take a little cheap shot. Take a little cheap shot. I can't take all these cheap shots.
We gotta win somewhere, guys.
I've been taking all these body blows. I got to throw one out there. I got nothing for Splash. He's got the Ravens. No, but to Kwasi's point, I think Cool Joe is more than capable of leading a team on his back to 11. Dare I say 12 wins, where the defense is going to give up 25 plus points, where he's got to score 30 points a game. That in itself, I mean, we say it so lightly in today's NFL because it's such a majority passing league where teams are scoring like no tomorrow. But it's not easy to do that, on a consistent basis, knowing your defense is going to give up at least a touchdown or field goal, especially when you get to the playoffs, right? You're playing good offenses. And Joe Burrow, to me, has shown that, not only is he a top 5 quarterback, which is not breaking news, but it wouldn't be offensive to, I think, to a big Ravens fan if he won this year, if they got into the playoffs as a 2nd seed or 3rd seed, and he had, 35 plus touchdowns, and we knew the defense is what it is. I mean, I don't think any Buffalo fans, if they hooked him up to a lie detector test and said, hey, Joe Burrow is the MVP this year, not your guy, it's a name that it rolls off the tongue. You're like, yeah, it makes sense. So I'm gonna have to say that's not a crazy take, Kwasi. It makes sense, and I can see it happening.
Can I give you guys a wild stat?
Yeah, sure.
The Bengals had a better record last season when they scored 24 or fewer points than they did when they scored more than 25 points.
That's surprising.
They went 5-6 when they scored 25 or more points. They went 4-2 when they scored 24 or fewer.
Now, do you think
to show that defense?
Now, is that a mental thing with their defense where they take their foot off their own gas when their offense starts putting up more points? Is that coaching?
I think this can be attributed to playing the Cleveland Browns twice.
more shots at the Cleveland Browns.
Yes. Well, this is, mainly an artifact of them not actually scoring very much on the Browns and then scoring a bunch on the Ravens, but losing those games. So if you, and even the Pittsburgh game, the game they won, they scored 19. The game they lost, they scored 38. So it was a very division skewed when they scored 35 plus or 34 plus like they did both Baltimore games and the one Pittsburgh game. They were 0-3 in those, and then in division they scored 24 against the Browns, 21 against the Browns, and 19 against the Steelers. They won those 3. So very weird. The Bengals are a very weird team, very strange team. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't know if Joe Shiesty wins MVP.
I think for me, at the end of the day, like I say, with that defense being at his, and I completely forgot about the whole Trey Henderson thing. If he leaves, what are the Bengals going to do on defense? And that could be a reason why not only does Joe Burrow not win MVP, that could be a reason why the Bengals almost completely fall off. If they can't defend anything, then who knows? But if Joe Burrow comes into this season being able to carry the offense past the defense in that way, I don't see how that's not your most valuable player. Like, by definition, that's the most valuable player in football. The most valuable position in football is the quarterback position. As much as I hate to say it, because I want a non-quarterback to win one day in my lifetime, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. But when you look at the Bengals, they have a quarterback that is going to be able to lead them to something. They have an offense that's going to be able to lead them to something. Their defense cannot do it. He needs to be able to carry that defense to be able to go and help them. And I think that because he's going to be the one that's leading, doing all those things, it wouldn't be crazy for him to win MVP. Because at the end of the day, Josh Allen's already has his. Lamar already has his. They don't need Joe. Like, Joe Burrow can go out there, have a good season, and maybe like the fans, the voters, whatever it is, like, we'll start the Joe Cool campaign, and then we'll just get him his MVP.
I think once you enter the realm of, like we just said, if you told me Team X has a defense that's 32nd and they have, at least decent, you have to have some players. You have a decent offense and you have quarterback A. Does that team have a chance on any given Sunday? And if you told me that quarterback A is Joe Burrow, I would say yes, 9 times out of 10. And once you become that guy where, you could say the team is good to even bad or good to mid, but you have this guy's quarterback, do I have a chance to win against Patrick Mahomes on any given Sunday? Joe Burrow is one of those guys. So, yeah.
This isn't a shot at Burrow at all. This is just a case of a lot of good quarterbacks, and Burrow, I think, is in that group. So